A list of mania, think less but see it grow.
Hello everybody, it's the Gnome and welcome to your September 2018 episode of 10 for 12. If you're new to my channel, welcome, it's a pleasure to have you, and there will be a playlist for this wonderful segment on my channel in the box after this video comes to a close. So, 10 for 12, of course, is a collaborative effort that I like to do each month where I give you guys a top 10 list of things that I like to discuss. And today, I've got a great collaborator called the Media Reviewer. He is someone who is new to my channel and mine to his, and we are really excited to tackle this topic. And the topic of discussion, especially with the new TV season coming out, is our top 10 movies based on television shows. Now, these don't necessarily have to be the best. These are just our 10 favorites personally, and I know for a solid fact that I have some good ones and some not so good ones, but at the same time I'm really excited to give you guys my attitude towards these 10 specific movies that are based on TV shows. So without further ado, let's begin. The first one is not necessarily based on an entire TV show, rather it is a segment from a very popular TV show, and that of course is the SNL comedic sketch of Wayne's World, starring Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. Not only was this film a cult classic, but it actually spawned a sequel, and both of the Wayne's World movies are fantastic. These are also the characters that put Mike Myers and Dana Carvey on the map, and the two of them have gone on to do so many different projects. I mean, we may not see Mike Myers in movies anymore, but God knows how much money he's making off of the Shrek royalties, and that is always a great thing. Number 9 is probably one of the most horrible in all of these movies, but it is the original Brady Bunch movie. I love that movie. It is one of those so horrible, it's wonderful films. It stars Shelley Long and Gary Cole, and it is just so quirky and stupid and funny, and the way that they actually made this movie work is somewhat of a stroke of genius. I don't know how they made it work, but they did make it work. To make a family trapped in the 60s and 70s and put them into modern times and make them so clueless as to what is happening all around them, yet they still manage to be a functioning family, is just impressive. And not just that, very humorous to actually see them in the post-grunge age. That was really, really funny. Number 8 is the 1987 animated film Transformers, of course based on the animated series from the 80s, and a continuation of the story, if you will. Not only did it star all of the current cast members of the time, including the great Peter Cullen and Casey Kasem, but it also featured other very famous voices like Leonard Nimoy, the late Orson Welles, John Machida, and Judd Nelson. It was just so cool, and it was also an animated film that broke a lot of barriers. It was actually one of the first animated films that actually had cursing in it, that was actually for kids and families, so it was definitely a bold move to go in, and it also had some very interesting decisions that were made in regards to how the plot unfolded. If you haven't seen the 87 animated film, I highly recommend that you give it a shot. Number 7, also somewhat of a continuation of a story. It is the very first X-Files film, of course starring David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. This film takes place in between seasons 5 and 6 of the show, and to me, it was one of the best science fiction films that I had ever seen. It was brilliantly acted, it had such a great story. With a bigger budget, that we got a much bigger piece of the X-Files story that had already been given to us on our television sets for many, many years, and I am really surprised that this movie did not get as much recognition as I thought that it would, because for such a fan-favorite show to actually become a very good big-budget film is extremely impressive, not to mention it also had the late Martin Landau in the film as well, with a very significant role. Number 6 is Entourage, of course based on the HBO hit show that I absolutely love. After 2 Sex and the City films, it was only right that the guys' version of Sex and the City would get its own movie, and it was like coming home again after the series ended. It was great to see Vinny, Turtle, Johnny Drama, and Eric back, especially also Ari Gold and Lloyd. Just seeing everybody back together in another great continuation of another great television story So awesome. I loved that movie. I could watch it so many times. I need to rewatch the show and the movie. Believe me, if you haven't seen Entourage, even if you've never seen Entourage before, this movie will definitely make you want to watch the show, and it will definitely turn you into a fan. Number 5 is South Park. Bigger, longer, and uncut. Yeah, I could have said the Simpsons movie, but quite frankly, it's not one of my personal favorites. It's a good movie, but not great. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut is an amazing movie, taking on social commentary, current events, and of course giving us our favorite characters the opportunity to be very, very raunchy. Not that they were already raunchy with the guidelines of television, but it was such a great way to bring these kids to the big screen, and even more so, turning it into a musical is what really made this film work. Even the song Blame Canada got nominated for an Academy Award. If you haven't seen the film, it was great, and even coming out so soon after the show came out was even better. Number 4 is Serenity, based on the short-lived cult classic TV show Firefly, a show that really should have gone for longer than one season. The Joss Whedon classic got a movie to tie up all the loose ends. It was great to see Malcolm Reynolds and the crew of Serenity on the big screen with a bigger budget, also including David Krumholtz in the cast. It was just such an amazing way to finish the show, and it even had some very bold moments happen at the very end. It is a wonderful movie. The cast is phenomenal. Great story. You've got to check out Serenity. Number 3 is The Little Rascals. That is one of the most classic television shows of all time, and to see a movie done so well based around this show was wonderful. All of the kids as the Little Rascals were wonderful. All of the people who made guest appearances, from Mel Brooks to Whoopi Goldberg to Reba McEntire to Donald Trump. It was just so funny to see this movie come to life and to see these kids do such a great job bringing the Little Rascals to a whole new generation to enjoy. Oh yeah, and the Olsen twins make an appearance in this movie, as does Raven-Symoné. Number 2. Even though there are so many films, I only want to bring it to one specific film, and that is Star Trek Generations. Based, of course, on the Star Trek The Next Generation television show, which I think is so much better than the original series, and yes, I do believe that Captain Picard is better than Captain Kirk. To see the Next Generation crew on the big screen in an amazing bridging of the gap between the original series and the Next Generation was such a sight to behold. It's not as great as First Contact, but there are so many great moments in this film. Of course, the highlight of this film is Data getting an emotion chip and seeing Brent Spiner take this character to new heights. The Searching for Life Form song is all you need. You gotta check out that clip. Just type in Data Searching for Life Forms on YouTube, and you will find it. It is too funny. You've got to check out this movie. It is such an amazing film, filled with wonder, filled with heart, and every Star Trek fan can truly appreciate it. And that brings us to the number 1 film that is based on a television show, and it is Batman: The Mask of the Phantasm, which of course is based on Batman the Animated Series. It was a beautiful, big-budget production from Bruce Timm, but unfortunately poorly marketed by Warner Brothers. It was the very first time that fans of Batman the Animated Series actually got to see the origins of this version of Batman. Kevin Conroy doing a wonderful job as Batman, Dana Delaney coming as Lorena Belmont, the love interest of Bruce Wayne, and of course Mark Hamill coming back as the Joker, and seeing this amazing showdown between Batman and the Joker was absolutely fantastic. This is without a doubt one of the most deepest and heartfelt Batman stories that you will ever see. I mean, we've gotten so many incarnations of Batman, but nothing will blow your mind and leave you more breathless than seeing this beautiful, beautiful animated film. And that's it, everybody. Those are my 10 favorite films based on television shows. Media reviewer, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to see the 10 that you have come up with. So all of you, please leave your comments in the box below and let me know what your favorite movie based on a television show is, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.